Recording live from the Rainbow Hall in Nagoya, Japan. Welcome to the Pride Fighting Championships number 5. My name is Steven Quadros, seated here with my partner, Bas Rutten. Our first competitor tonight is Minoru Toyonaga. He's a submission fighter coming from Japan, 195 pounds, and his opponent, one of the finest grapplers in the United States, Eigen Inoue.
I like his haircut, actually.
Toyonaga's?
No, Eigen. It's a nice haircut.
It's very shiny.
I like his haircut too.
You have got a submission fighter in Toyonaga against a jiu-jitsu fighter in Eigen Inoue. And Toyonaga comes from the Takada Dojo, which is the spawning ground of such greats as Kazushi Sakuraba. And we'll see if he can match up with those skills. Eigen coming out and working for the guillotine choke. A good sprawl there, boss.
Very nice, yeah. I saw it. I was looking at this. He's a strong individual. Eigen, he's going for Kimura. Oh, very nice.
Eigen riding the mount there and almost getting a rear mount. Now this could be over very quickly. Eigen's going to sink that choke, boss. I mean, this fight could be over real quick. He's got the hooks in.
He's got pretty much everything going now.
All he needs to do is grind away with some shots there.
Good balance. He's got very good balance.
He lost that one hook out, but it's got the left arm forging its way in front. Now the right arm. And it looks like that arm is in front of the throat of Toyonaga. This fight could be over very quickly unless Toyonaga can shuck him off. Oh, this is not good. Toyonaga has got his chin up high. Oh, it's gonna be over. It's gonna be over, folks.
Yeah,
and he's gonna have to tap out.
Oh, escape it.
Wow. Exceptional escape there. I don't know if it's because Eigen let off for a second or because Toyonaga has got those kind of defensive chops.
Yeah, I think he loosened up on the hooks. Eigen did, and that gave Toyonaga a chance to roll out, to spin out. I mean, it got to be that, because he had everything perfect going.
I think Eigen should throw that straight right just to get him out of his...
Oh, nice high kick.
That was nice, and it was partially blocked by Toyonaga. Eigen coming out good with the strikes here. Toyonaga trying to shoot in for a takedown, but pulling guard instead. And Eigen getting his back again. Toyonaga is really getting into the bad habit of doing this, and you don't want to really do this kind of a tactic against Eigen Inoue.
And there he goes again. Tried to go for that Kimura. That's a typical Japanese thing, especially a Takada Dojo thing. Oh, nice kick again.
Eigen has got pretty good strikes, but he drops his hands after he strikes, and that's not good. So if Toyonaga does get wild and start brawling, Eigen might get caught.
Eigen kind of looks like Bruce's old training partner. What's his name?
Dan Inosanto?
Yeah. When you look at him like this, huh?
There's a slight resemblance.
Yeah.
Eigen with a good straight right. It's that straight right.
Oh, back kick.
And Minoru trying that back kick didn't really have anything on it. He was just mainly doing it as a defensive move. Eigen has been in total control from the outset of this match. Minoru really doesn't seem quite to know what to do with Eigen Inoue, whether to take him down, but he doesn't really seem to have the technical skill on the ground. I think it's just a matter of time before Eigen submits him.
Yeah, he looks really comfortable on the ground. Good jiu-jitsu skills. Good grappling skills. Jiu-jitsu, I don't know, but grappling he's doing real well. Good control, attacks, knee right, he right, the mount, like Minoru tried to bridge him off, but he was just riding it like he was riding a horse. Relax, hey. That's perfect, man. Good balance.
But he keeps giving his back, and I don't think that's a good idea. One of his teammates at Takada Dojo has the habit of giving his back, and that's Kazushi Sakuraba. But I haven't seen that Minoru Toyonaga is in the class with Sakuraba quite yet. He tries those tight moves, but see, he's going to end up getting choked out if he keeps doing this. Egan should punch here.
Minoru, it's his third fight. He had 2 fights in the Pancras organization. He both lost those fights on decision. So he went the distance. So there is stamina here. And Egan actually has a pretty good record. He's had like 6 fights and 2 losses. The last fight he lost, it was against Sanai Kikuta, and we saw him fight.
But notice that both of his losses have been by decision. He's never been submitted or knocked out in mixed martial arts. So that goes to show you that he's there to go the distance unless he submits the guy. And out of his 4 wins, 3 of those have been submissions by armbar.
Nice.
He's doing what he hurt him. It looks like the fight's over. The fight is over.
Good strike.
Egan Inoue has landed enough gunpowder in those fists to stop Minoru Toyonaga. And that was a quick one, folks. It was pretty much close to total domination in that fight. He was just beating him around the ring like he was nothing.
Yeah, I wanted to say like a rag doll, but no, I did.
Egan Inoue getting hoisted up. Welcome to the Pride Fighting Championships, Egan.
Yeah, that's a name we will definitely hear some more from.
Yes, we will. Egan Inoue winning by TKO referee's stoppage. And here it is, grounding away there from the punches. Now, when he gets up, he throws that left hand, and that really, the reaction that
here we go.
Toyonaga had right there. Oh, that was a good shot. He acted like a defeated fighter there, and the referee jumped in to save him from himself, really, because you don't want to hang in there too long. When you're taking a beating, sometimes you just let the referee stop the fight. And he didn't complain one bit.
No, this was a good stoppage. It was a good stoppage.
ただいまより第2試合10分2ラウンドを行います。
This will be the first time that I'm going to see Francisco Bueno fight Chico, so to say. I know very well. This is the first time actually that I saw the fight from him against Jason Belcher.
Now Hanma looks totally different because he got his hair cut. I kind of like the longer hair.
Yeah, he had a beard too now. He's got a little goatee going on.
Francisco Bueno!
Somebody's smoking in the room.
Yeah, they do have a lot of smoke in this. Francisco Bueno outweighing Hanma by at least 20 pounds. And Hanma looking very focused. I think he's really, really feeling confident after that last win he had in the Pride Fighting Championships, where he just pounded on Sano from Takada Dojo. But Bueno may be a little bit different.
Maybe. That's an understatement there. It's going to be a total different than Sano.
We'll see if this fight stays standing or goes to the ground.
Yep, that's the good thing from Bueno. It doesn't matter. He can do both now. It's good striking, good boxing, and his jiu-jitsu is good too.
You've got to automatically give the power edge to Bueno being 222 pounds in this fight and Hanma being 204 pounds.
Yeah, of course, and he's totally different build also. They're feeling each other out now. There's respect. What's gonna happen after the first clash? It's gonna be
I
more
think
relaxed.
I think it's gonna be total warfare once they start engaging here. But I want to see somebody throw a jab or do something. Now, there's the low kick by Hanma. Chico did check that kick though. Bueno a lot more cautious than he was in his IBC with Jason Godsey, who is a really big guy too, at 245, 250 pounds. But maybe Bueno saw the highlight tape of Hanma pounding Sano and is maybe a little more conservative, showing him a little bit of respect. Look at Hanma waving him toward him.
Yeah,
Like,
please
come on.
hit me.
Like right here, right here.
Okay. Oh, so you won it? Yeah. Oh my God.
That's a real quick low kick by Hanma.
Yeah, that's straight. I would never do that, Frank. Come on, come on.
Bueno, he seems real tentative here. It'd be nice if he pulled the trigger. But Hanma, he's got the speed where Bueno might have the power. I think Hanma definitely has the speed advantage here. Hopefully he's got the head movement in case one of those Bueno guided missiles comes upside his head.
Yeah, he needs the Star Wars program. Now.
It seems like Bueno's a little tense.
Yeah, I think what you said is true, that he saw the highlight tape just before he went up. And he's, ooh, this guy can strike. He didn't know that it was against Sano, who fortunately didn't do anything back.
No, he didn't. He's basically just a moving punching bag. But Hanma seems almost cocky in the face of Francisco Bueno, who he keeps reaching back to scratch his back for some strange reason.
What is going on, huh? I think he should start firing away.
Yeah, it's really already starting to be a dance contest here. Hanma has scored the low kicks so far.
2 of them, I think.
But Bueno has done nothing but move around. Bueno hasn't even pressed forward yet. And he's showing the effects from those couple of low kicks by the reddening of the thigh there. Do you think Bueno is afraid at this moment?
It looks like it's strange. It's constantly backing out. He should just go in, boom, do his thing. He's got good punching power.
There's nothing to fear but fear itself, they say. Oh, Bueno coming in.
There you go.
Bueno wanting to get busy. He's got that first taste of a connect there by one of those punches. And going with that stomp kick at the knee of Satoshi Hanma. I think Chico's going to start dropping bombs here, but he's leaving that chin awful high in the air while he punches.
Awful high, yeah.
See, he's got that chin up high, but look at him. Wow, he's really hurting Hanma here. He's all over him, but a lot of those are missing. A lot of those are not clean. Oh, that one landed right on the button and put Hanma down right on the chin. Right hand, almost like a one-punch knockout there for Francisco Bueno.
A big flurry of punches. In the end, he started connecting, and that was it. Over and out.
At first, he seemed tentative. He seemed like he didn't want to engage Hanma, but then something happened. And maybe he saw something in the eyes of Hanma, but he started pulling the trigger, started missing shots, but kept on, started to connect a little bit, and then hit him right on the chin with that big straight right hand, and that ended the fight. Referee stopped the contest. Francisco Bueno makes a huge impression here, right there. That landed on the chin. Most of those are grazing and missing slightly. Hanma not keeping his hands up, pawing out, trying to knee. And here comes the final shot in the fight. Right there, rocked his head sideways. Francisco wanted to ground and pound there. Here's another angle.
The last series is this. Bang. And now the hit is on.
That was a beautiful... They're basically shooting it out. I think he realized that Hanma, being 22 pounds lighter than him, probably couldn't hurt him. So welcome to the Pride Fighting Championships.
ここで両選手に名古屋グランパス8の望月重義様より花束の贈呈がございます。
If you look at it, it's Shoji is kind of a small Vovchanchyn if you look at him. He's got the same build, only he's smaller. He's very tough, good at submissions, but can he take Igor Vovchanchyn down? Because I think with strikes, he's not going to make it. So he needs to take this fight to the ground.
I think it's true that there is a similarity in the build, but Igor Vovchanchyn outweighs Vovchanchyn by almost, actually by 40 pounds. And Vovchanchyn is definitely a much superior striker to Akira Shoji. Shoji is primarily a grappler, coming from a jiu-jitsu background, whereas Vovchanchyn cut his teeth doing kickboxing in Ukraine. Akira Shoji with Carl Uno
in the corner there.
In his corner.
176センチ、108キロ。イゴールボブチャンチン。
Vovchanchyn.
Oh yeah, Igor Vovchanchyn with his trainer Oleg in his corner. Igor's second time in the Pride Fighting Championships, and this is Akira Shoji's 5th time in the Pride Fighting Championships. Obviously a very popular fighter there in Japan because they keep asking him back.
And they should, because he's a very, very interesting fighter. He's very colorful, good fighter, exciting, very exciting fighter, which is the most important thing of all, of course.
I think he's going to have to use a lot of movement in this fight. A lot of movement. He's going to have to circle constantly. He can't stand directly in front of Vovchanchyn, because we saw what Vovchanchyn did to Big Daddy Gary Goodridge. And he hurt him bad with that one left hook. Vovchanchyn, now this is a relaxed fighter in Vovchanchyn. And look at the size of Vovchanchyn's legs. Boss, they say that punching power comes from the legs. And with legs like those, you know he's got some punching power.
Yeah, but I think they more mean the punching power comes from the floor, from the legs. You know, it's all the back leg. As long as the back leg is connected to the ground, at the moment that you punch, just before it, then you get the most impact. If you stand on one leg, you know, it's not going to happen. And he's got, what you say, he's got two little trees on it there. He is fast with his kicks too, because for his build it doesn't look like that, but he is. He's got great combinations also. And of course he's got that left hook and a right hand I saw him make also.
And he does have a very impressive record of 12 wins and 1 loss and 1 draw, which is quite a bit more than Akira Shoji does at this point.
And that 1 loss was against, what's his, Mikhail Ilyenkoino, some Russian guy. Anyway, it was by submission because the Russian guy put his jaw in the eye of Vovchanchyn, and that's why he tapped. So it was a strange victory, submission by the eye, the chin in the eye.
And that was in the semifinal match of a 16-man tournament, the AFC won the Absolute Fighting Championships on February 1st, 1996. And since then, Igor has won multiple 8-man tournaments. Oh, Igor catches that right low kick of Shoji and comes over the top with an overhand right. But it looked like a grazing blow, didn't land clean. And he's letting Shoji get back up. There seems to be a lot of respect. I'll bet you that Igor Vovchanchyn has seen Shoji fight and really likes the way he fights. I get that feeling.
What is not to like? Huh? But from all the fights we saw, you shouldn't be really, Vovchanchyn shouldn't be really afraid of the punching knowledge that Shoji has. I would just chop away and go in. He only has to watch out for the takedown. But again, hey, when he was fighting for Leach, he was pretty good with boxing. Shoji is.
Well, one interesting point is that since he's been in the Pride Fighting Championships, Akira Shoji has fought primarily grapplers. Renzo Gracie, Juan Mott, Daijiro Matsui, Walid Ismail. This is the first time he's faced, shall we say, a dangerous striker.
Yeah, oh, you can say that.
So the game plan is going to be totally different. Whereas before he'd rush right in, try and get into a body lock, try and do a takedown, try and hip throw. But he doesn't really want to rush right in with Igor because Igor can throw some bombs. And here he is. He's trying to lock up here, trying to get Igor on the mat. But Igor completely shutting down his takedowns.
Yeah, he doesn't want to go there. They're still filling each other out. Oh.
It's funny, Igor doesn't really throw feel-out shots. Every shot he throws is like to knock the guy out.
Yeah. Which is a very smart thing to do. It doesn't cost that much energy. Good sprawl.
And he just stays back, and this is, you got to love this because a lot of fighters feel it incumbent upon themselves that once another fighter goes to the ground, they've got to follow him there. Now, interestingly, Shoji is doing what we shall call the butt scoot. He's coming after Vovchanchyn. Vovchanchyn wondering what to do here. Shall he kick?
I should turn my back, walk away, see if he gets up. Or just kick legs right now. Yep.
Well, it's a great defensive strategy by Akira Shoji, but because he doesn't really like what he saw standing up against Vovchanchyn. And rightfully so.
Yeah, they should stand it up.
Yeah, they really should, because it seems that Shoji is basically biding time and trying to survive at this point.
Okay, break!
Okay, excellent call by the referee.
Yep, he heard us.
And I'm glad to see that the Pride Fighting Championships has evolved to the point where now we're having restarts when there is a stalemate or just a dead spot in the action, because it changes the whole visual of the sport. It seems like Igor is keeping his hands down low, almost to invite Shoji to throw a shot so they can get into a punching battle.
He's waiting for the right time. Like you said, he's choosing his punches. He's ready. He's going to go any second now. Waiting.
But I think it's tough because Vovchanchyn, as fast as he is at 238, 240 pounds, realizes that Shoji is faster than he is on his feet.
And they move kind of the same when they stand in front of each other with the hands. Look at this. Look at this. See?
They actually do.
Yeah. I'm telling you, it's the small Vovchanchyn and the bigger Vovchanchyn. Yeah, definitely a lot of respect for each other.
Yeah, I think that in some ways, technically and power-wise, Shoji's in a little over his head in this fight. I do. Because what I see right now, Vovchanchyn getting in, and that's a great combination. He starts with the left hook, then the straight right, then the left kick to
The liver.
the liver, Mr. Rutten. I love it how I'll start a statement and you'll finish it.
Yeah, we can do that.
Tag team commentating here with Bas Rutten and Stephen Quadros. Pride Fighting Championships number 5. Igor Vovchanchyn with the white stripes and Akira Shoji with the writing on the back of his trunks.
And no stripes. Yeah, he's waiting to throw it there. Whoa.
Wow, Shoji just landed a little left hook there, but it didn't really do anything to Vovchanchyn.
Last time, or the second time that we saw Shoji fight, you remember that I was saying, I said, man, this guy should learn some more boxing because that's probably his weakest point. And then after that he KO'd Valigi, TKO'd, and now he's doing actually pretty good.
You know, at the beginning of the fight, I said, Shoji has got to move, and that's exactly what he did, because to stand right in front of a guy like Vovchanchyn, who's going to come straight forward, he's going to try and punch you out, is a mistake. And anyone who is maybe thinking about fighting Igor Vovchanchyn in the future might want to think about this lesson that Shoji is teaching. Although he's not really in exhibiting the danger of stopping Vovchanchyn, he's also he's able to survive. Vovchanchyn, oh man,
Was that a hit or
it
not?
was a good shot, and he went for a takedown right afterwards, but it didn't do much to Vovchanchyn. It didn't stop his freight train from moving forward. I think this is where a good fast jab would serve Shoji really well to frustrate Vovchanchyn and get him lunging forward with wild punches. I really do. But Shoji obviously doesn't have that tool.
No, but you can see that he's been working on boxing on his hands since the second show that we saw him.
Oh, absolutely, because just the way he holds his hands. And when Vovchanchyn comes in for one of those big shots, see, he ducks, he slipped the punches,
And he's putting the pressure on. Nice.
and he threw a low kick there, and Vovchanchyn didn't catch that one. And I think that got under Vovchanchyn's skin. Well, a really good tactical round for Shoji, but He lost the round because Vovchanchyn was the aggressor and did land the shots. But nonetheless, that is the strategy he must employ against Vovchanchyn.
Yeah, striking and try to go for a takedown later in this round.
One of our lovely Pride ring girls.
Here we go. See if they're going to show it, that hook.
There's the low kick. Vovchanchyn traps the leg, and it really didn't even land. The punch was going toward the jaw, but more hit the collarbone. Vovchanchyn coming with that left hook, and
that's what I wanted to see.
Shoji,
it was a hit.
It didn't land clean though, and that almost rocked Vovchanchyn's world. So a nice little exchange there. Neither man landing clean shots though. But do you really feel that Shoji has a shot at winning this fight at this moment? I don't think so. Not the way that first round unfolded. I mean, it was honorable and admirable that he could stay away from Vovchanchyn's power.
Yeah, at the end he started doing way better. He got more confident, and I'm telling you, when you look back at the reruns, you know, he's vulnerable. He's not just a machine like they used to say in a Rocky movie, because he clogged him a little bit, and there was a reaction. So if he swings one of the hooks, one of those hands, and it's going to be right on the jaw, even Vovchanchyn can go down, you know. So it's but it's like you said, Vovchanchyn grew at the end of the round, and he got more confident, and yeah, he's got the more power, more body weight, and more more fights behind him. So
yeah, plus I don't know that Vovchanchyn in his heart feels a threat from Shoji, so he might not be at the top of his game in this fight. Because, Boss, you know, when a fighter feels a threat, like the other man has a really solid shot at beating him, the fear will drive him to new heights.
Yeah, I don't know. I think, you think that he underestimated him before? No, he would never do that. I mean, that would be a dumb thing to do. You always make sure that you're prepared 100% for everybody. Even if the fighter's like a low-class fighter, if you think, it's going to be an easy fight.
I think that's true, theoretically, but if he were going to, let's say if Vovchanchyn were going to fight Kerr, I think his preparation, emotionally and psychologically, would be a lot different than it is for a fight with Shoji.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I think because fighting a guy who's smaller, who just beat Walid Ismail with strikes, I don't think there was the pressure inside of Vovchanchyn to raise his level of training. Thus, like some of the shootouts we saw earlier in the first round, I don't think it would be susceptible like that in a more high-pressure fight against a Mark Kerr or some of the other great heavyweights.
Yep. Yeah, that's right. You're right.
But nonetheless, Shoji is being a very elusive target here in the second round, much like he did in the first round.
It's like they're just waiting. I have to say, every time Shoji ducks or checks a punch, he stays right in the distance, in the right distance. He doesn't move too far away. You know, some people, they get hit with a jab or with a right straight and they jump back like 3 feet. That's not what he's doing. He's staying into the danger zone all the time. So that's pretty impressive.
So you're saying that he's exhibiting the kind of composure that you need to be in the ring with Igor Vovchanchyn.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because it does take composure, because this guy's got a pretty intimidating record already in mixed martial arts, having won at least 2 8-man tournaments.
Yeah, but his first fight was against Renzo Gracie, and he had a draw. And Renzo had only wins before that. And he gave Renzo a run for his money.
So I think what you're trying to say, and I wholeheartedly agree, that Akira Shoji is a special kind of athlete, psychologically.
Yeah, I think the fighting game, there's a lot psychologically. You know, if you're strong in the mind, you pretty much 70% a winner. Of course you need technique, of course you need stamina, but that's all a package. Because you're not strong in the mind, you don't have the stamina. And you cannot train real hard. So you got to have it all.
And one thing that causes one to train hard and develop good stamina and do good technique is the mind.
That's what I'm
Because
saying.
the body doesn't make itself run miles and swim laps and punch the punching bag and grapple. The mind makes that happen. So once again, we do have two minds in the ring. Shoji trying to figure out a way to beat this charging bull, and Vovchanchyn trying in a workmanlike fashion to get to Shoji.
You should call him the Siberian Express or something.
Whoa, big man.
Hey, look at this.
Vovchanchyn
this.
with another takedown, but this position here is going to favor Shoji, I believe.
I don't know.
Well, we're going to see Vovchanchyn grapple a little bit now. That was a beautiful takedown. It's about his third takedown in the fight.
Pure power.
Absolutely.
Pure power. Lifts him up and puts him down.
That's with a 40-pound weight advantage, and being short and have a low center of gravity like he does, he can throw around a guy who weighs about 205 pounds like Shoji.
Whoa.
That overhand right.
Oh, you see, that's what I mean. If that right hand hits, it could be over. That's a strong right hand. Yeah, Shoji's really impressing me here. He impressed me the first time I saw him fight, but again, he's doing this job against Igor Vovchanchyn, that's something special.
5 minutes plus.
Oh, Shoji's trying an
Nice.
up kick there and going after Vovchanchyn from the bottom position.
Yeah, I would walk away again. I mean,
I agree. He should just back right up, because what can he do in this position? Fall down on the guy's guard? If he leans forward to try and punch him, he'll be open for getting kicked in the face. If he tries to kick his leg, he might do some damage, might not. We've never seen anybody stop an opponent from kicking his leg while the opponent was down on his back like that. Never.
never.
I mean, it makes a nice cracking sound, but part of that cracking sound is your shin taking a pounding against the other guy's shin.
Yeah, Vovchanchyn constantly looks like he's going to pull the trigger, huh? You see him firing up.
But he really hasn't pulled the trigger in this fight too much.
No.
Do you think that because he might admire Akira Shoji, that he might be carrying him a little bit?
No, I don't think he would carry him, because Shoji counters real fast all the time. Watch, when he pulls the trigger, okay, now he goes backwards, but normally he fires back right away. And Vovchanchyn knows, one good punch, and Shoji doesn't jab. Everything he does is with power. All the punches. If one's going to be hit, oh, second time.
An unintentional left inside kick lands a little bit low, and we have to have a brief break there. Vovchanchyn feels bad. He doesn't want to hurt Shoji, not like this. He wants to win the fight, but he's not a cheap shot artist, at least not that we can see.
No. He's actually a real nice guy.
Yeah.
I met him last time in the dressing room with Kerr, and yeah, he's somebody special. Always smiling. He's real humble. It's like real strange, because if you see him fighting, he totally turns into this fighting machine. He's got the biggest hands. If you give him a hand, it's like the biggest hands. Thick fingers and strong hands.
Do you think Igor should shoot that right hand to the body?
Finishing it off with the left hook, that would be a great combo. See, everything he does, Shoji right away comes back. He should just start throwing bombs now in the corner. Bam, bam, bam.
It's amazing because Shoji, because of his movement, has been so elusive. Whoa! Igor catching him with a kick when it looked like he was down, but he pulled it because he knew he was already down. Vovchanchyn should just back up and let Shoji stand up with him. But it's really interesting that Vovchanchyn hasn't landed a lot of clean shots on Shoji in the standing mode. He hasn't.
Nope.
I think a lot of that has to do with Shoji's movement. And Vovchanchyn wanted to go to the ground, and Shoji wanted to go back up and diving for the ropes. And here they're wailing away on the ropes. Shoji charging forward, double underhook, body lock. Is he going to take Vovchanchyn down?
That would be something, huh?
Doesn't look like it. Vovchanchyn got that arm around the rope.
That would be something with the 40 pounds difference. Hey, he can do it.
Okay, nice call by the referee. Wasn't a lot of real effective action going on there. And they're going to restart the fighters in the middle of the ring standing.
Good rule, good rule. Because we're here to see the action.
Not the stalling.
Absolutely right.
Just say no to stalling.
Yeah, you have it like in the restrooms, you know?
Okay, Vovchanchyn shooting in with that left hook.
To the body. Bang, bang. Whoa. Whoa.
And Shoji, look at him trying to brawl with Vovchanchyn. Oh, nice big right hand. Put Shoji right on the deck. More like a push punch. It didn't really hit him hard, I don't think.
No, it's a throw in the deck punch. A throw in the deck punch.
Well, it looks like Vovchanchyn's got a little slice across the front of it. I don't know how that happened. And Shoji, slow in getting up. He looked a little puzzled there. Well, it's really interesting that Shoji chose to trade with Vovchanchyn a couple times, but neither man landed cleanly in those exchanges. Like, see there, Shoji will wing a punch that almost grazed Vovchanchyn, and see, Igor's, you know, it's okay. Vovchanchyn has won the decision after 2 10-minute rounds. I guess it's great. Now, in the Pride Fighting Championships number 5, we've gone to judges, which is good because the first four Prides that we had, there were no judges. If a fight went the distance, it was an automatic draw. But some of those fights, in fact, there was a winner. They had people that clearly should have won the fights. And here Vovchanchyn rumbling in. It wasn't necessarily a dominating victory by Igor Vovchanchyn because Shoji was still there, and that was almost like a ridge hand that knocked him down, boss. He hit him with the side of the wrist. And here they are rumbling. And that was a nice grazing right hand by Shoji, and Vovchanchyn ducking and slipping and hitting him with the side of the wrist, just like a ridge hand.
Yeah.
Amazing.
The wrist punch. Japan versus Japan, and look at that gi pair of pants.
straight out of one of these old martial art movies.
Aikido. Oh no. This is something else.
Yeah, it's kind of like East LA meets ninjutsu.
My God, and they told us that his style is grappling, and he's 316 pounds.
Okay, 316 pounds, but all the clips that we saw of this guy, he was like doing bare knuckle karate, like Kyokushin style.
Yeah.
Okay, so this guy outweighs Enson Inoue by a mere 106 pounds. Enson tipping the scales right around 210 pounds. His style being Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, he claims.
That was he had no business here in the ring, I guess.
I don't think so. Not against Enson Inoue. Because Enson just took him right out. He gave up his neck, had his chin up high. He obviously didn't understand the ground game at all. Enson went right through that guy.
Yeah, like he should. He did a good job. Took care of it. Get it over with. Come on, man.
Well, the funny thing was, Enson was the one who came out punching.
Yeah.
Not the Kyokushin karate fighter.
Maybe they tried to throw us off by saying that he was a grappling, that his style was grappling, and then because we saw Moni strike.
Yeah, he was throwing jump spinning heel kicks. Here Enson shoots out there and throws that right hand. It missed, and he missed another one, and the guy just fell down, maybe just folding under the pressure, and the guy didn't know to pull guard. He didn't know to spin and tuck. He didn't know really anything on the ground.
There's an armbar right there.
And he basically really did not understand the ground game at all.
At all. Zero. I've said it a few times.
ここで小川選手より
Now here we have an exhibition jiu-jitsu match with the gi uniform, and it's going to be Royler Gracie pictured there and Rickson Gracie there, and he's being having his hand shaken by the great Japanese silver medalist in judo Ogawa, a very famous and popular pro wrestler here in Japan. And he's looking at both of the Gracies, and I'm sure all of them are wondering how they measure up against each other. That might be the clear implication here. Ogawa being a pretty decent grappler himself. Going to be watching closely as Rickson Gracie, right there, will be doing an exhibition with his brother Royler Gracie. And this should be rather interesting, boss.
Oh, say, can you see?
I don't think so.
Konbanwa. Today we are here not to fight, but to make a jiu-jitsu demonstration. This demonstration will have two parts. The first part is the self-defense, who is more applicable on the street. The second part is the sparring part, who use in jiu-jitsu competition. I hope you like it. Thank you.
Well, excellent. I'm looking forward to this. I have a great deal of respect for both these guys as far as their straight grappling ability. Two of the absolute most dynamic grapplers on this planet.
2つの部分に分かれています。まず1つ目が護身術です。街頭で遭遇するかもしれない状況でどうやって身を守るかをお見せします。そして2部目が競技での一律のスパーリングのテクニック技をお見せします。どうぞ皆様お楽しみください。
And here's the self-defense portion. It's really interesting, boss. I think that the technique is so smooth with these guys. It really is.
Yeah, their family has been doing this for years and years and years. I think that when they came out as a baby, they already started training. They like at Honjev is saying, they gave it with the spoon, the cereal spoon.
Yeah, they were fed it from early childhood by their father, Helio Gracie, one of the legendary figures in Brazilian martial arts, who had a lot of great matches when he was a young man against guys that outweighed him by 100 pounds sometimes. And I really like this.
It's nice to see it for one change, yeah? Different.
Yeah, because, to see good, clean technique and how it can be applied.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no, he's going to get out the Louisville Slugger. Now he's got the knife. Ouch.
Now the gun comes out.
You're a funny man, Boswell.
They heard me. Good.
Okay, now they're going to spar.
Okay, great.
But Hicks is going to get him.
Of course. Wow.
Now that was smooth.
Very beautiful.
That was
nice.
smooth. Very nice. Hicks and Gracie's in the house.
I think it's going to be a one-on-one thing. Yes.
Yeah, 1 for 1.
Yeah.
Tit for tat. That was nice, too. I just really like the cleanness of their technique. Well, it's interesting because we've seen both these guys fight in the Pride Fighting Championships. Now we get to see them just show the beauty of their art, which is Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Actually, they call it Gracie Jiu-Jitsu because it's their own blend of Jiu-Jitsu. Now they're really sparring here.